Welcome, everyone, to Cliffhangers and Page Turners. This is episode 20.
Great to be here.
Today, we are cracking open a true literary classic and maybe some hidden gems you haven't read from the same author. We're talking Truman Capote.
That's right. We've got his iconic novella, Breakfast at Tiffany's, of course, but also 3 fantastic short stories, House of Flowers, A Diamond Guitar, and A Christmas Memory.
So get ready for, well, a proper book club chat. We're going to explore these unforgettable characters, their, deepest desires, and Capote's really unique voice.
Yeah, it's often quite surprising, isn't it? We'll share some favorite moments, maybe debate what makes these people tick, and try to unpack some of the truths hidden away in the writing.
Okay, let's start with the big one. Breakfast at Tiffany's. And specifically, the enigma that is Holly Golightly.
Her name is Just. It's everywhere, isn't it? Part of the language now, mostly thanks to the movie, the 1961 film.
Definitely. But Capote's original Holly.
Yeah.
She's got more layers, maybe a bit rougher around the edges.
For sure. I mean, right from the start, the narrator finds that strange mailbox card, Miss Holiday Golightly, traveling. It immediately sets her up as this transient, a mysterious figure.
And she's always losing her key. Always needing him to buzz her in because she, quote, lost the goddamn key. It tells you something straight away.
It really does. In her look, Capote describes the ragbag colors of her boy's hair, but then the slim, cool black dress, the pearl choker, it's such a mix.
Yeah, and then he throws in that line about her having an almost breakfast cereal air of health, despite everything.
Exactly. It's all contradiction. And the age thing, too. She looks anywhere between 16 and 30, but she's actually just shy of 19.
Right. Capote's deliberately blurring those lines. Is she innocent? Is she worldly?
She's both, somehow. A child woman. You just can't easily categorize her, and I think that's the point. It's not just a character. It's Capote playing with our perceptions.
And her life itself, the way she lives, totally reflects that refusal to be pinned down. I love how the narrator pieces things together from her trash.
Oh yeah, the amateur detective work. Tabloids, travel folders, astrological charts.
Smoking picayunes, living on cottage cheese and Melba toast. It's such a specific, almost performative existence.
Performative, or maybe just searching. Always looking outward, to horoscopes, to gossip columns for some kind of map. And always ready to bolt.
That diet, too, it's so minimal. It contrasts with that vibrant, almost chaotic energy she puts out. Like maybe there's a fragility underneath.
Definitely suggests that. A kind of deliberate detachment, maybe. It's a life that everyone's watching, but nobody really knows. She's unrooted.
And that unrootedness is basically her life philosophy, isn't it? That line, I'll never get used to anything. Anybody that does, they might as well be dead.
Whoa. Yeah, that's stark.
Is that Capote saying something about, like, complacency being dangerous, or is it just Holly's way of coping?
I think it's probably both. For Holly, it feels like a survival strategy, absolutely. Getting used to something means commitment, vulnerability, risk.
Right, the risk of getting hurt, maybe.
Exactly. So she rejects settling down, sees it as a kind of death. It's her way of staying alive, free. But Capote definitely makes you think, is constant movement more authentic?
And you do see that restlessness in his other characters, too, which we'll get to.
Yeah, you do.
Her honesty, or maybe bluntness, is also pretty startling, especially about money. Earning $50 for the girls' John in powder rooms.
She just lays it out there, no apologies.
And her views on relationships.
Yeah.
Training herself to like older men because it was the smartest thing I ever did. Dismissing any idea of a father complex as so much murd.
It's almost brazen. But then she turns around and asks the narrator if he knows any nice lesbians for a roommate because dykes are wonderful homemakers.
Right after saying his story about lesbians bored her. It's such whiplash, but it feels totally Holly.
It's self-protection, I think. Controlling the narrative, she states her terms. It shows this really pragmatic view of the world because, well, the world hasn't been very kind or stable for her.
Yeah, it's all very transactional sometimes, but then practical other times. It's always about what works for her right now.
Exactly. Navigating it all on her own terms. Capote presents it so directly, it's kind of disarming.
Which brings us to Tiffany's, her sanctuary.
Ah, Tiffany.
She talks about the mean reds. Not just the blues, but this awful, nameless fear.
Yeah, that feeling of dread that comes out of nowhere.
And Tiffany's is the only thing that helps. Nothing bad could ever happen to you there, she says. It just calms her down.
It's not really the store itself, is it? It's the idea of it. Perfect, ordered, beautiful, safe, everything her life isn't.
Right. It's this ideal of calm in all her chaos. A fixed point.
And it ties right into her cat, the fact she won't name him.
Because she hasn't found a place where me and things belong together. Tiffany's is the feeling she wants, the dream of belonging. not the actual place.
Precisely. It's the longing for that feeling.
But that dream gets seriously shaken up when her past arrives. First, that weird African wood carving that looks just like her that Mr. Yunioshi finds.
Such a strange, unsettling detail. Like a little omen.
And then boom, Doc Golightly from Tulip, Texas.
Revealing she's actually Lula Mae Barnes, his child bride, married at 14, and a stepmother. It just blows her carefully built world apart.
Her reaction is so layered. She retreats into disappointment. There's that gentle kiss. But ultimately, she has to run again.
It's that collision, past and present. She knows Lula Mae is part of her, but she's fought so hard to escape that.
And she admits it, right? I'm not 14 anymore, and I'm not Lula Mae. But the terrible part is, I am. That's devastating.
It really is. I'm still stealing turkey eggs and running through a briar patch, only now I call it having the mean reds. Capote just nails that feeling of being haunted by your origins.
He's still running. He connects to that wild thing monologue she gives Joe Bell, too.
Yeah, you can't give your heart to a wild thing. She knows herself in a way, knows she's maybe untamable.
And then the trouble really hits. The drug smuggling stuff.
Acting as a go-between for Sally Tomato, the gangster in Sing Sing, visiting him, passing coded messages. It almost feels like just another odd job for Holly at first.
Until she gets arrested, right in the narrator's bathroom.
Even then, her defiance is incredible, telling that poor policewoman, "Get them cotton-picking hands off of me, you dreary, driveling old bull dyke."
Yeah.
Just wow.
But what really stands out is her loyalty to Sally. Refusing to testify, even if they throw away the key. What's that about?
It's this weird paradoxical sense of honor she has. Sally, criminal or not, gave her something, maybe money, maybe just a role to play, and she won't betray that.
So despite everything, she has her own code.
Exactly. It's not conventional morality, but it's her code. Capote often finds dignity in these kinds of outcast figures, doesn't he?
He does, which makes Jose's betrayal even harder to take. The politician fiancé.
Oh, Jose Ibarra Jagar, his fear of scandal, that cold letter he sends.
It just crushes her. She tries to put on a brave face, that stony, small smile, but then admits, I did love him, the rat.
You see the vulnerability crack through. She did let herself feel something for him, despite her whole philosophy, and he ditches her for appearances.
It shatters that illusion that maybe she could fit into that conventional world.
Yeah, it proves her wild thing theory, right, in a painful way. So the escape to Brazil, funded by Sally Tomato, it feels less like adventure now, more like pure desperation.
Just running again, searching for the next place.
And that scene with the cat, oh, it's heartbreaking.
Letting him go in Spanish Harlem.
Yeah.
Yelling, beat it! And then immediately regretting it. Oh, jeez. God, we did belong to each other. He was mine.
That's the moment she confronts her fear of belonging head on. The cat was the one uncomplicated connection, maybe, and she throws it away to avoid the pain of having ties.
But realizes instantly what she's lost. The cat, nameless because she couldn't commit, becomes this symbol for Holly herself.
And the narrator finding the cat later, giving it a home, a name, it offers a little bit of hope, maybe, but it leaves you wondering about Holly.
Yeah, does she ever find her place? Her postcard from Buenos Aires just says she's still looking, still traveling.
What a character. Truly unforgettable.
She really is. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and look at how some of these themes play out in Capote's short stories. First up, House of Flowers.
Right, set in Port-au-Prince, we meet Audelie, who works in a brothel, the Champs-Élysées. She's described as beautiful, maybe a bit vain.
And she has this intense yearning for love. There's that strange test with the wild bee from the Hungen.
And it stings her.
Yeah.
Which is meant to signify true love, I think. Anyway, she meets Royal Bonaparte, a man from the mountains.
And she leaves her whole life behind to marry him and live in his House of Flowers. And escape, just like Holly in some ways.
An escape, yeah. But not exactly paradise. There's the tension with Royal's grandmother, old Bonaparte.
Who basically torments Audelie. And Audelie's solution is chilling.
It really is. She slowly poisons the old woman, using things from her sewing basket, a cat's head, spiders, a buzzard's breast. It's methodical and disturbing.
It shows a ruthless pragmatism, maybe. Doing whatever it takes to hold on to her new life, her chosen escape.
Definitely. And after the grandmother dies, things get even weirder. Royal finds out, or suspects, and ties Audelie to a tree as punishment.
But then her friends from the brothel show up. They expect her to come back with them, right? To escape this life now.
And she refuses. She tells them to tie her back to the tree and tell everyone she's dead.
Whoa. So how does that connect back to Holly? that choice to stay, to be tied up.
It's fascinating, isn't it? It's like Audley is choosing her own form of belonging, even if it looks like captivity to us. She rejected her old life, and she's choosing this one, the House of Flowers, with all its darkness.
So freedom isn't necessarily about being untethered.
Maybe not for everyone. Maybe it's about choosing your own constraints. Like Holly searching for her Tiffany's, Audley finds her. Well, her tree, I guess. Her chosen prison that feels like belonging to her.
That's a really interesting parallel. Okay, let's look at A Diamond Guitar. Different setting, entirely a prison farm.
Yeah, very bleak. Pine forests, isolation. We meet Mr. Schaefer, an older convict, been there a long time, carves dolls. Seems resigned.
Until Tico Feo arrives. Young, Cuban, flamboyant, with this guitar covered in fake diamonds.
He's like a burst of color in this gray world. The guitar, even though it's just got bits of glass glued on, it represents something, hope, fantasy, escape.
And he kind of shakes Mr. Schaefer awake, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Awakens this loneliness he'd maybe buried.
Exactly. They form this unlikely friendship. Tico Feo tells all these wild stories, lies really, about escaping to Madrid, the North Pole.
And Mr. Schaefer gets caught up in it. These dreams become shared illusions.
It shows how powerful that need for connection is, even in the worst places, and how sometimes illusions are all you have.
So they plan an escape. Tico Feo's all fired up. Mr. Schaefer's hesitant, older, scared.
And the escape fails, tragically. Mr. Schaefer gets hurt, and he realizes Tico Feo never really thought he'd make it.
Oof, that's rough.
It is. And the guitar, the diamond guitar, its cheap gems start turning yellow. It becomes this symbol of, well, tarnished dreams.
Lost hope. The bitterness of it all.
Yeah, but also maybe the fleeting beauty of that hope. Tico Feo gave Schaefer the dream of escape, companionship, even if it wasn't real. And maybe that connection, that shared dream, was something valuable in itself.
Even if it ended badly. Capote seems interested in that, the value of the dream, even a false one.
I think so, especially if it bridges that gap of loneliness, even for a little while.
Okay, one more story, and it's quite different in tone. A Christmas Memory.
Oh, this one is beautiful. So tender.
Narrated by Buddy, who's 7, about his relationship with his elderly cousin. She's very childlike herself, and she's his best friend.
Their world is so specific. That annual ritual when fruitcake weather arrived.
Yes, making those 31 fruitcakes,
Yeah.
gathering pecans, saving pennies.
Going to see Mr. Ha-Ha Jones, the bootlegger, for the whiskey, which feels so scandalous and exciting through Buddy's eyes.
And they have their little side hustles, rummage sales, selling jam, that Fun and Freak Museum with the 3-legged chicken.
It shows this incredible richness in a life lived quite simply on the margins. And the cousin's character is just... she's wonderful.
So innocent, but wise in her own way. Taming hummingbirds, believing in ghosts.
And that profound moment where she realizes God isn't some distant thing, but is present in everything they see every day. Just what they've always seen was seeing him.
It's incredibly moving. Not sentimental, but deeply spiritual in a very grounded way.
Finding the sacred in the ordinary. That feels very Capote.
But then the inevitable separation comes. Buddy gets sent off to military school.
Yeah, the tone shifts. And the ending. Her decline, forgetting things, confusing Buddy with another friend from her past.
And that last fruitcake weather, when she's gone, the image he's left with.
The lost pair of kites hurrying toward heaven just gets you right there.
It really does. It captures that hard, sharp kernel of truth inside the sweetness, as one review put it. The beauty and the pain of love and loss.
It's about unconditional love, memory, the power of simple traditions, and how those connections shape you forever, even after they're gone.
So, looking at all 4 pieces together, you really see these threads connecting them, don't you?
Definitely. All these characters, Holly, Audley, Tico Feo, Buddy's cousin, they're all living outside the usual boxes. They're Capote's wild things.
Each searching for freedom or belonging, or maybe both, in their own peculiar ways.
And they often expose the limits or hypocrisies of normal life in the process. Capote had such empathy for the outsider.
And he's a master storyteller about storytelling, too. His characters are always creating narratives, wearing masks, Holly's traveling persona, Tico Feo's escape plans.
They tell stories to survive, to cope, maybe even to invent themselves. But Capote always lets the underlying truth peek through.
Yeah, it suggests truth isn't simple. It's tangled up in the stories we tell.
The lies aren't always malicious. They're often just human, expressions of longing. He wants us to look deeper past the surface narrative.
And the connections between characters are often so unconventional. Joe Bell's quiet love for Holly, Mr. Schaefer and Tico Feo, Buddy and his cousin.
Right. It's rarely traditional romance. It's these deep, powerful bonds formed in unexpected ways. Platonic love, familial love, love born of shared desperation.
It shows that profound connection can happen anywhere, outside the usual definitions.
And that belonging might be found in another person, not just a place. Even if it's fleeting, it's one of the most beautiful things in his work, I think.
And memory is such a huge force, too. Holly, haunted by Lulame, Schaefer's loneliness returning, the whole of A Christmas Memory. The past is never really past.
It shapes everything. It comforts, it haunts, it defines. Capote uses nostalgia not just to be sentimental, but to explore how our past selves are always with us.
It all comes down to his incredible skill. The vivid images, the surprising humor, even in dark spots, the empathy.
He makes you care deeply about these eccentric, flawed people. You feel like you know them.
He finds the beauty and truth in corners most writers might overlook, that relentless fascination with the human heart, especially when it's a bit wild. Well, that pretty much wraps up our look at Truman Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's and these amazing short stories. What a journey.
It really was. So much joy, sadness, and just uniqueness in there.
We really hope you enjoyed being part of our book club discussion today. Hope you got something out of it.
Yeah, maybe a fresh look at some familiar characters, or an introduction to some new ones.
If you liked our chat, please do give us a like, leave a comment, maybe share it with a fellow reader, and definitely subscribe so you don't miss our next discussion.
Your support really helps us keep bringing these literary explorations to you.
And you won't want to miss next week. We're jumping into something completely different for episode 21.
Oh, yeah. What have we got?
Get ready for This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib by Quan Millz.
Okay. That is definitely a shifting gears. Sounds intriguing.
It promises to be quite the experience, so join us for that next time.
Until then, happy reading, everyone.
Happy reading.